Osaka is a city of layers. Most travelers only ever scratch the surface, the neon of Namba, the noise of Dotonbori. But if you stand still at 6 a.m. in Nakanoshima, you hear a different rhythm. This is the big Osaka that residents know. A city that was once the largest in Japan, surpassing Tokyo in the 1920s. Today, we're going to walk through those layers, from the pre-war alleys that survived the fire bombings to the futuristic Midori life of 2026. This isn't just a guide, it's an invitation to see the soul of the merchant capital. So, we begin in Nakazakicho. In a city that's constantly building the future, this neighborhood is a living time capsule of the past. Today, we're going to explore why this tiny pocket of old Osaka survived the war, how it became a haven for artists, and where you can find the best hidden gems in 2026. To understand Nakazakicho, you have to understand its survival. During World War II, most of Osaka was tragically leveled by firebombing. But miraculously, Nakazakicho was spared. Because the houses here were built so sturdily and packed so closely together, they survived the air raids that flattened the rest of the city. For decades, it remained a quiet, aging residential area. But around 2001, something changed. Local artists, led by pioneers like Jun Amanto, realized these abandoned wooden houses shouldn't be torn down. They should be reimagined. They started turning crumbling warehouses into cafes and galleries, sparking a retro renaissance that defines the area today. The best way to experience Nakazakicho is to get lost. Seriously, put your phone away for just a minute. The streets here are a labyrinth of narrow alleys, some so thin, two people could barely pass. You'll see laundry hanging next to million-yen street art. And you can't talk about Nakazakicho without talking about the cafes. Cafe Amanto, housed in a 140-year-old building covered in vines. It's the heartbeat of the community. Most of the cafes here aren't just businesses. They're social hubs for the artists who live and work in the upper floors. And keep an eye out for Nakazakicho Hall. It's an open air space that often hosts flea markets or craft beer tastings. In 2026, the community vibe is stronger than ever, even as modern developers try to move in on the edges of the district. As the sun sets and the lanterns start to glow, you realize that Nakazakicho isn't just a place for cool photos. It's a reminder that progress doesn't always have to mean tearing things down. Sometimes the most modern thing you can do is preserve the soul of the past. In Nakazakicho, time doesn't move forward, it just settles in. So just a 10-minute walk from those 100-year-old alleys, we step into 2026. For decades, the north side of Osaka Station was a literal hole in the map. A massive, gray wasteland of old railway tracks known as the last prime real estate in Japan. But look at it now. Welcome to Grand Green Osaka. This isn't just another shopping mall. We are standing in the heart of the Umekita Phase 2 development, a multi-billion-dollar project that has officially flipped the script on what a Japanese city center looks like. In a city famous for neon lights and concrete, Osaka just went green. Today, we're exploring the lush parks, the futuristic bridges, and the hidden underground food scene that everyone is talking about. So what exactly is this place? Grand Green is the centerpiece of the Umekita redevelopment. It's 9.1 hectares of pure innovation. Essentially, Osaka took its busiest transit hub, where millions of people pass through daily, and decided to build a forest of the future right on top of it. It's split into two main sections: the South Building, which focuses on luxury, business, and the massive new Timeout market, and the North Building, which leans into lifestyle and innovation. But the real star, that's the Midori, or the greenery that connects everything. In the past, Osaka was ranked as one of the Japanese cities with the least green space per person. Grand Green was built specifically to fix that. So let's talk about the park. It's divided into a north and south zone, and the vibe is completely different in each. And this is my happy place right now. Wow, it's crazy in this store. The South Park is where the energy is. You've got this massive 1,500 square meter lawn called the Lawn Plaza. On weekends, it's packed with locals having picnics, a rare sight in Umeda. Then you have the Step Plaza, which looks like a giant green staircase. But look up. The stunning silver undulating canopy is the large roof, designed by the world-famous architects at SANAA. It's built to host events, festivals, and farmers markets, keeping you dry even during Osaka's rainy season. There's a massive skyway bridge that seamlessly connects the north and south buildings. When you're walking across it, you get this incredible perspective of the valley, a gap between the buildings designed to let wind and light flow through the park. From here, the views of the Osaka skyline are unbeatable. You can see the glass facade of the Grand Green Osaka Park Tower, which houses the Waldorf Astoria, rising up like a shimmering wall. It feels like you're walking through a scene from Mirror's Edge or a high-budget sci-fi movie. Everything is sleek, glass, and incredibly walkable. Now, you can't talk about this area without mentioning the OG landmark, the Umeda Sky Building. If you want the best view of the entire Grand Green development, you have to go up to the Floating Garden Observatory. From 173 meters up, you can see exactly how the park has transformed the city's footprint. It's the perfect spot to see the old Osaka meeting the new. Plus, if you're hungry for some old school vibes, head to the basement of the Sky Building, Takimi Koji, which is a recreated street from the 1920s. Now, after all that walking, you're going to be hungry, and this is where Grand Green really wins. Inside the South Building is the first Timeout market in Asia. Imagine 17 of Osaka's best kitchens and 2 world-class bars, all in one massive 3,000 square meter space. This isn't a food court, it's a curated culinary experience. You can get high-end Wagyu, Michelin-level ramen from Zagin Diversity, or classic Osaka takoyaki, all while sitting at communal tables with a view of the park. It's become the social hub of the city. Osaka has always been a city of grit and neon, but Grand Green has given it a soul. It's a place to breathe, to eat, and to see where the future of urban living is headed. So whether you're here for the architecture, the food at Timeout Market, or just to lie on the grass and look at the skyscrapers, Umekita is officially the heart of the city. And now we enter Nakanoshima, a 3-kilometer sandbank which has been the brain of Osaka since the Edo period. This is Nakanoshima Park Rose Garden. There are over 300 varieties here. Even if the roses aren't in full bloom, it's the perfect place to start a morning walk. What I love about this spot is the Kensaki, or the tip of the island. You have the Totonbori and Dojima rivers merging right here, with a massive fountain that shoots up every hour. It's one of the few places in Osaka where you feel a real sense of open space. Now, if you look across the river towards Kitahama, you'll see one of the most iconic views in Osaka. A row of stylish cafes with wooden terraces extending right over the water. This is the Kitahama terrace culture. In the spring and autumn, there's nothing better than sitting outside with the breeze coming off the river. We have to talk about Moto Coffee though. It's that tiny white building right at the foot of Naniwabashi Bridge. There's almost always a line, but sitting on that small deck with the coffee and the view of the line statues on the bridge, it's worth the wait every time. Let's go check out the second floor. Full coffee. The second floor right here. Nakanoshima isn't just about nature, it's about history. The Osaka Central Public Hall is the star of the show. That red brick neo-Renaissance style was completed in 1918. It survived wars and earthquake, and it still stands as a symbol of the city. Just a few steps away is the Osaka Prefectural Nakanoshima Library. It looks like a Greek temple. It was built in 1904, and it's still a functioning library. If you go inside, the dome ceiling will absolutely blow your mind. It's crazy to feel such a different kind of history. It doesn't feel like Japan at all. I mean, we're back to the stairwell again, but it just does not feel like Japan. And just across the bridge in Kitahama, we have the Osaka Securities Exchange. You can't miss the massive bronze statue up front. That's Godai Tomoatsu. He's known as the father of the modern Osaka economy. He's the reason this area became a financial powerhouse. He looks out over the street like he's still keeping an eye on the markets. One of the newer additions to the island is the Nakanoshima Children's Book Forest. It was designed by the famous architect Tadao Ando. Even if you don't have kids, the architecture is incredible. It's a literal forest of books. You'll notice the giant blue apple outside. It's a tribute to the poem Youth by Samuel Ullman. It represents staying curious and ripe no matter how old you get. So whether you're coming here to shoot photos, find a quiet place to read, or just enjoy a good cup of coffee by the water, Nakanoshima and Kitahama offer a different side of Osaka life. So we are in Horie district now, Orange Street, Tachibana Dori, where back in the days, this district used to be like the furniture district in Osaka because this area is surrounded by a couple rivers where they ship in a lot of wood and a lot of, made a lot of furniture here. But of course, after the bombing after World War, this place kind of got demolished. They rebuilt this place back up into more of like a trendy, fashionable, a lot of vintage shops. They still have a lot of furniture shops here, home design stuff. So it's just a really chilled out place to come grab a coffee and just relax. So let's walk around and check it out. But before we hit the shops, we have to stop here, Umeda Pond. So we are here at Wakoji Temple in the Horie district in Osaka, where it just seems like just any ordinary temple, but actually there's a local legend here at the pond behind me, which is called Umeda Ike Pond, where in the 6th century, there was a Buddha image that was discarded into the pond because at that time there was like anti-Buddhism that was kind of going on. And then later on, someone discovered the Buddha statue inside of the pond, and it later on became the primary image of the Zenkoji Temple in Nagano. So yeah, so just a small little place like this, you wouldn't know it just walking past it, but yeah, there's a local legend that really ties into the history of Buddhism in Japan. So yeah, really interesting. Let's continue. It's a great spot to just sit for a second, watch the turtles, and appreciate the roots of the neighborhood before you get lost in the shopping. Alright, let's talk about shopping. Orange Street is about 800 meters of pure temptation. You still got the legacy furniture shops, but they've been joined by massive streetwear brands like Supreme and Neighborhood. What I love most are the second-hand shops. Horie has some of the best curated vintage in Japan. You'll find shops like Kindle or 2nd Street, but also smaller independent boutiques where the owners handpick every item. And keep an eye out for the interior goods. Even if you can't carry a sofa home on the plane, the smaller lifestyle shops here have some of the coolest home decor you'll find in Osaka. Let's see what's inside Journal Standard Furniture. And if you want to see the Horie aesthetic in a single building, you have to go to Biotop. It's a corner shop concept. The ground floor is a plant lover's dream, which you guys know we love, and they have a great coffee stand. Upstairs is a high-end fashion and beauty, and the rooftop is a pizza garden. It's basically the community hub for the most stylish people in the city. Here. They have all the Aesop products here. Wow, look at this leaf here. And after all that walking, you need a break. There are so many trendy cafes here, but Tasogare Coffee is a special one. It's got that perfect, slightly moody, industrial cool vibe. The coffee is serious, the music is always on point, and it's a great place to just people watch. It feels like the heart of the local creative scene. Fuel. It's getting our cafe latte here, so yeah, wow, this place is so retro, I love it. Oh yeah. Yo. Horie is one of those places that feels like it's constantly evolving. Every time we come back, there's a new gallery or a hidden cafe to discover. So if Dotonbori is Osaka's living room, then Shinsekai is Osaka's basement, just full of chaos and weird treasures that you can find. It's just a vibe that feels like 1980s cyberpunk movie. I mean, it was literally designed to look like Paris and New York back in 1912. And today, it's the ultimate retro playground. So let's check it out. Welcome to Shinsekai. This neighborhood was created in 1912 with a bold vision. The northern half was modeled after Paris, and the south after New York's Coney Island. At its center stands the icon of Osaka, Tsutenkaku Tower. Inside Shinsekai, you'll find Billiken, the god of things as they ought to be. He's actually an American creation from 1908 that became a beloved local mascot. Legend says if you rub his feet, you'll get good luck. And you cannot come to Shinsekai and not eat kushikatsu. These are deep fried skewers of pretty much anything. Meat, cheese, lotus root, you name it. Head to Kushikatsu Daruma, but remember the golden rule, no double dipping. The sauce is shared, and the locals take this very seriously. Finally, to feel the retro vibes, just walk through Janjan Yokocho. This narrow alleyway got its name from the Janjan sound of the shamisen strings, used to attract customers after the war. But today, it's a paradise of standing bars, cheap sushi, and if you're lucky, it's an old school shogi parlor where locals still gather for intense matches. So we are at Shitennoji Temple, which is perhaps the oldest temple in Japan. I don't know, they all seem to say that, but this one was founded in the year 593. So it's actually officially the oldest administered temple in Japan. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but yeah, no, when you come here, you can definitely feel the history. It's a little bit busy today on Sunday, but let's go check it out. This is Shitennoji, founded in 593 AD. It isn't just a temple, it's the spiritual bedrock of Osaka. But look up, and the view totally changes. Just a short walk away stands Abeno Harukas, a glass giant that represents the city's soaring future. We're exploring the deep history of Japan's oldest officially administered temple, the vibrant chaos of its famous markets, and the breathtaking views from the tallest building in the city. Notice the layout known as the Shitennoji style design. The middle gate, the 5-story pagoda, the main hall, and the lecture hall are all aligned in a strict north-south line. This symmetry was revolutionary for its time and remains a masterclass in ancient architectural balance. As you wander the grounds, the 5-story pagoda dominates the skyline. And for a small fee, you can actually climb the interior, a rare treat in Japan, to see the intricate woodwork up close. Just across from it is the kondo, or main hall. Inside, the atmosphere shifts. It's quiet, scented with heavy incense, and houses a beautiful statue of the Princess Savior, Kano. Don't forget to stop by the Kame no Ike, or Turtle Pond. You'll see hundreds of turtles sunning themselves on the stone carvings, a symbol of longevity that has become a quirky staple of the temple. If you can, time your visit for the 21st or 22nd of the month. This is when Shitennoji transforms. The quiet spiritual grounds erupts into one of the best flea markets in Osaka. Over 300 vendors set up shop, selling everything from antique ceramics and vintage silk kimonos to dusty vinyl records and rusted samurai tools. It is a picker's paradise. After soaking in 1400 years of history, it's time for a perspective shift. A 15-minute walk south brings us to Abeno Harukas. Reaching 300 meters into the sky, it held the title of Japan's tallest building for years and remains a marvel of modern engineering. Take the high-speed elevator to Harukas 300, the observation deck. As the doors open, the 360-degree glass walls reveal Osaka like a giant circuit board. On a clear day, you can see all the way to Kyoto and the Akashi Kaikyo Bridge. Looking back towards Shitennoji from here, the temple looks like a tiny, peaceful island in a sea of concrete. It's the ultimate contrast, the foundation of Japanese Buddhism sitting in the shadow of Japan's vertical ambition. Wow, so we are at the Abeno Harukas observation deck right now on the 60th floor, and wow, it's a full panoramic 360 view of the city, and it's just crazy here, man. I mean, they have the free one on the 16th floor, but it's pointing in like a direction where there's just nothing. So you kind of have to come up to the 60th floor, which costs about 2,000 yen. And then you can see everything in Osaka City, like Tsutenkaku Tower. You can see a bit of Osaka Castle. But yeah, wow, what a view here, it's crazy. Osaka is a city that refuses to stay still, yet it never forgets where it started. Whether you're haggling over an antique at the market, or watching the sunset from the top of the world at Abeno Harukas, you're experiencing the full spectrum of the Japanese soul. When the sun goes down, Osaka doesn't sleep, it glows. Welcome to Dotonbori, the beating heart of Japan's kitchen. If you've ever seen a photo of Osaka, you've seen this place. A sensory overload of massive mechanical crabs, towering neon billboards, and the smell of grilled octopus wafting to the air. But Dotonbori isn't just a tourist trap, it's a living history. Originally dug as a canal in 1612 by a local entrepreneur named Yasui Doton, this area quickly became the entertainment soul of the city. For centuries, it was lined with kabuki and bunraku puppet theaters. Today, the theaters are mostly gone, replaced by a theater of food and light. There's a word you need to know before you arrive. Kuidaore. It literally means to ruin oneself by extravagance in food. In Osaka, eating isn't a hobby, it's a lifestyle. First stop, takoyaki. You can't walk 5 feet without seeing these golden battered balls. Look for takoyaki juhachiban. They add tiny tempura bits for an extra crunch that's legendary. Next, look up for the giant moving crab. That's kani doraku. Even if you don't go inside for a full meal, they usually have a charcoal grill out front selling succulent grilled crab legs. Now, if the neon gets to be too much, take a literal turn into the past. Just a 2-minute walk from the main strip is Hozenji Yokocho, a narrow alleyway that feels like 17th century Japan. At the end of the alley sits Hozenji Temple. Built in 1637, it's one of the few places that survived the bombings of World War II. The star here is the Mizukake Fudo statue. Look closely, he's completely covered in a thick, vibrant carpet of green moss. Tradition says, you don't just pray here, you splash water over the statue. Over decades of visitors doing this, the moss has claimed him. At night, with the lanterns glowing and the scent of incense in the air, the silence here is a beautiful, haunting contrast to the shouting vendors just a block away. Alright, now back to the energy. Let's talk about the donkey in the room. Don Quixote is Japan's ultimate discount store, and the Dotonbori branch is legendary. But what makes this one special is the Ebisu Tower, the world's first oval-shaped Ferris wheel built right into the building's facade. It costs about 600 yen, and at night, it offers one of the best views of the Dotonbori Canal from 77 meters up. It's quirky, it's yellow, and it's peak Osaka. To truly see Dotonbori, you have to get on the water. The Tonbori River Cruise departs every half hour from right in front of Don Quixote. It's a 20-minute loop that takes you under the famous bridges, including the Ebisu Bridge, where everyone gathers to take selfie with the Glico Running Man. Seeing the neon signs reflecting off the ripples of the canal is arguably the most cyberpunk moment you'll have in Japan. The guides are high energy, often cracking jokes in Japanese and English, making sure everyone on the boat is having as much fun as the people on the shore. Dotonbori at night is a masterpiece of contradictions. It's loud, it's crowded, and it's unashamedly commercial. But tucked inside its corners are moments of ancient peace and flavors you'll crave for the rest of your life. Whether you're here for the 24-hour shopping, the moss-covered gods, or just to eat your weight in octopus, Osaka's night scene is something you have to feel to believe. So to conclude this video, Osaka isn't a city that asks for your admiration, it asks for your participation. Whether it's the quiet of a Nakazakicho cafe or the blinding neon lights of Dotonbori, the pulse is always there. Thank you for staying for the whole story. If this video helped you see the city differently, subscribe to join our quiet community. Until next time, stay intentional.